Hey everybody, it's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. I'm out in the workshop. Jason is playing tonight at the airport, so it's a good time for me to get some work done, and he always brings home food, which is nice. And he's got a couple of steaks to cook when he gets home. He's amazing. I'm always saying to my mom and my sister, I think I just completely lucked out. He's one of a kind. I just love him so much. I just can't even tell you. We're best friends. He's my soulmate. Truly, he's my favorite place. I tell him that. He's my favorite place. He's my favorite. I just love him. And so I didn't mean to do a let's talk about Jason intro, but I did want to just say it gives me time to be out here. And, you know, you're going to see me a lot in this camo sort of snuggie thing because it's so cold right now. I do wash this. I don't just wear it 24/7. It recently got washed, and of course these will probably start showing their age, the little cuffs or whatever, but I love this thing. She's like my sister-in-law or sister already. My future sister-in-law bought this for me. And Jennifer, if you're watching, I love this thing. So let's talk about what's on the art desk. I'm working on finishing up my January Patreon Penpal mail, and I'm going to be sending that out soon. I'm not going to do Patreon anymore. I'm closing it out after January. I shared the reasons for that with my supporters in Patreon. I appreciate all of you so much. My Patreon supporters, thank you. I can't thank you enough, whether you were with me for 2 days or a day or 2 years. I truly appreciate all of your support. I'm not going to go into too much here why I'm leaving. Now, if somebody's really interested, I might make a video and just talk about Patreon. But I'm going to be changing up the way I do my monthly pen pal mail and that sort of thing. And anyway, more details about that to come. I'm working on these large envelopes. Oh, where did I put the first one? So this is one I've already made. This is what everything's going to be mailed in this month. I love this little homemade envelope. You can see it's rippling a little bit from the glue. You know, I see store-bought, I don't know how I missed that corner. I see store-bought envelopes that are a little bit rippled like that. So I just think it adds to the charm there. It's lined with vellum, and it's got this really beautiful little motor scooter theme on the outside. So I'm working on these. I'll get back to this, but let me catch you up. And goodness knows, there is another video in this series that I have not published yet. This is making a tiny little book from that one large sheet of paper, and I wanted to show you what I have so far. This cover is amazing. Corrugated cardboard, it's layers of metallic paint. We've got some of this ice blue. This is deco art. And we've got some of the bright copper. I'm in love with this bright copper. I've just gone wild over it. I did put a layer of the blue paint first, and I don't think it wasn't totally dry. I mean, it couldn't have been, because you can see how it mixed with the gesso. I did spread some gesso on the outside, and it just felt too separated, like these white patches, and then the blue was too bright. So when I started mixing them, the result just became amazing. Somebody on my Instagram said it's like an old tin shed, and it is. It's like an industrial corrugated metal wall. And then the fabric that's on the spine here was almost like a denim. Not quite a denim, but it was a sample for a pant leg. So it was one of those fabrics that probably gets marketed as denim. And I painted that with the copper paint. Then I went back when it was dry and put a layer of this unicorn folk art, the glitterific glitter acrylic paint. And I just love it. It's like it's caught in all of these grooves. On the inside, And some of these hearts are going to be going into the January Penpal mail. I just glued one of these here. It's got a little bit of acrylic painted on it. You know, I don't like for things to be too pristine. I like for things to feel used and loved and sort of real life. These pages were feeling the tiniest bit loose from being stapled in and stapled through that thick cardboard. So what I did was I came back with my just plain old masking tape and put some layers in between the pages. So, and it sticks good enough to the fabric behind. So I really like it. I love the way the pages look. I love the order we have them in, and I'm just going to keep adding to this. I'm not sure if we're going to go through this whole thing with a theme of hearts. We could. I really like that. Of course, we'll do something to the hearts. But anyway, that's enough about this. That's enough about how much I love my sweetheart Jason. So we've got, where is it? I love my envelope punch. And if you go to the link to my Amazon storefront, you will see this is listed in one of the categories. It might be my go-to supplies. I also have a new category started with tools for crafting. And Alejandrina, I love this. That you sent that to me, and I have loved it. I've used that for a few years now. So let's move that glass. Oh, I don't think I showed you these glasses. I wonder if you can see how beautiful this is. I think this might be, I think it might have been made in Romania. It's engraved, and it's also got the gold painting on it, or some sort of color on it. It's not really raised. It's like an etching. Maybe etching is the word, not engraved. And I bet these were really expensive new. I bought 4 of these glasses. I wish I had purchased all 6. They were on sale for about $1 a piece at one of our local thrift stores that supports women who are in abusive situations and need shelter. So I just love these. So gorgeous. But why didn't I get all 6? Well, maybe, you know what? Maybe I left 2 for the perfect couple who came through and wanted something. I hope you can see how beautiful that is. Put that over to the side. Right now, I'm just gluing. I'm gluing these layers together. And I am trying to do it in such a way that we don't get too much rippling. But honestly, you know, tacky glue, I'm sure it's got some water in it. And it does cause some rippling. That's what's doing it, is the water content, I believe. So there's the tag from the paper, and let me try to line this up just right. Also tried, I couldn't get that that tag completely off, and that's wanting to slide a little bit. This is kind of the tricky part, is getting everything folded so that it's lined up really nicely, and you know what I mean. And I don't want to get any glue on the inside yet, but I'm trying to fold it so that the tag, that price tag, is hidden. Not because I'm trying to hide the price tag, but because it just takes away from the beautiful envelope. And I thought the best way to do that was to put it on one of the corners that's going to be glued over. And how, again, did I miss another? Oh, I can see a line on it. I punched it. I know I did. It just didn't go all the way through. This one's really giving me a fit as far as sliding down in there. There we go. That's better. Let's line these up. Maybe I should do it without having it folded. And you can see it's not, I don't care if it's off a little bit, but I don't want the inside lining just absolutely standing up out of the envelope. I hope that made sense. So I had a wonderful day at work. I still love my job. I just love it, and I'm so very pleasantly surprised. You know, I was afraid, so afraid that it would turn into something that just felt so corporate and so uninspired, and that is totally not the case. The customers are so nice. Now, you know as well as I do that there are always customers out there who test your patience. But most people are just happy to share what they're doing. They talk about their crafting. I learned so much working there. I've already learned so much. It's just crazy. I told my manager today, I feel like I learned something new every day there. So I guess somehow I missed the trend of, this one's a little bit lopsided, but I think it's going to be okay. How did I miss the trend of visible mending? Has anybody heard of that? So it's where you mend something in a way that you can tell that it was mended. That's the point. And I have a sweater, a big knit sweater that I cut some holes in because it looked kind of grungy or whatever, and I did that on purpose. You can go back and mend things with yarn or bright colors to make it just to let it show. So I think it would be pretty in that case. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. This one's going to have to be the way it is. I've messed with this one enough. Let's put a little bit more glue under there to make sure it stays, and we're done. It is what it is. This is still really cute. And maybe this will be the one that I keep for myself if it ends up feeling like it's a little off. Oh, I know the other thing I needed to do. I can also come back and trim a little bit. And you know what? This time I'm going to spread this layer of glue a whole lot thinner. There, let's do that. Oh my goodness. I'm loving my greenhouse. It's got a couple of candles burning in it right now. That does raise the temperature about 5 or 6 degrees, I think. Man, this one's driving me crazy. All right, well, I got to be more careful with the next one. This one will be the one that I save for me. Honestly, I don't know what in the world happened with this one. You know what? I think it was migrating from the folds when I glued this very first time, and I didn't notice it until I got to the second fold. So I messed myself up with that, but that's okay. Look how neat this one is. There's not any of this craziness going on, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That one's got to be mine. In fact, let's do this. We'll just leave it open, and I'm gonna say L-Y-N-N. That way we know that messy one's mine. I always like to take the worst ones for myself. Not that it's really bad, but you know. Okay. So here's the way you use this thing. I don't really look, this thing sometimes doesn't seem like it's right. Or maybe it's just me. Oops, I need to go cut that. I need to go trim that edge. This time I laid these down and trimmed them together. And now that makes me wonder if maybe I should punch and score them together the way they're going to be folded. Let's try that. Oh, look, there's part of the price tag on that one. Let's go ahead and take that off. Thank goodness. Sometimes they won't come off. So here's what you do to make an envelope from a square piece of paper with this thing. I should measure. I'm not going to measure because I feel like I have a pretty good eye for the center. I'm looking at how much is off each side. What we're wanting to do is punch right in the center, and it makes this little notch. And then if you lay there's a scorer that comes with this set. If you lay that down right as it comes out of that little area, there's a groove there, and you can run it all the way down. Now ideally you would come all the way to the corner or to the edge, but this piece of paper is too big for that. So keeping these together, I'm going to line up that score line with that arrow right there, And that should make it so that we have kind of a perfect, it's going to be just right to make everything fold right, if that makes sense. So I'm going to do another punch, and let's do that score line and flip it on around. And let's do this. Oops, hello. And one more. And, whoa, hello. And then with the corners, and I don't know how I missed some earlier, and see, it looks like it's shorter on this side, but maybe since we punched it together, it's going to be okay. We're going to put this in here. And round that corner, we're going to go all the way around and round the corner. So I was saying though that Jason brings food home. He's going to bring home a side dish probably to go with the steaks. And okay, so here we are. So let's fold right on the line. I think that's better already. And let's go ahead and score that. I mean, not score it, but really press that down with the bone folder. And then let's do that one. And let's come around and do this one. You know what? I think that was really the trick. And also folding right on the line. I also think on the last one, I did not get exactly on the line with one of the folds, and that messed me up. That one looks really good. I like that. And then what I'm doing is gluing. We're just trying to glue all the layers. Like, I want this inside vellum attached to the more decorative paper, and then I want this attached. So I'm attaching the vellum to the outer paper, and then I'm attaching these flaps to each other so that that is all very secure, and it's not going to just, you know, just pop open. And we don't want it to get inside the envelope because we don't want it glued together. Look how nice that one turned out. See, I'm glad I hung in there and did another one, because it made it look like, it made me look like I had no clue what I was doing, and maybe I didn't for that one. Again, you know what? This time what we did was punch the paper together so that the punches were in identical spots, and I used my bone folder with the folds to really make that crisp fold. So it wasn't unsure of what it was doing. It was really folded. I've noticed with these envelopes, they're never going to be perfect. It's just, it's not perfect. It's not a machine. So, you know, there are going to be areas where you look at it, like, to me, this fold is over that way a little bit. That one's over that way a little bit. So it gives us the tiniest bit of overlap. But I can handle that. I think that's so cute. I love this so much. So now we have 3, and this and look, the crazy one doesn't even look that bad now that it's back. But I did mess with that one too much. So that one is mine. There's that one. So that makes 3. So let me go ahead and make another one. And I won't bore you by keeping the camera on with this part. I don't know if there was anything else I was going to say. I think that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for dropping in. I really appreciate it. I've got more to share. Maybe I'll talk about the Patreon thing. It's not anything horrible. It's just that I've tried it twice and it's not for me. Patreon is just not for me. I definitely support those who use it as an option. I could never get comfortable with it. And I could say more about specifics, but for now, just know that I've got other plans for the way things are working with my art life. And I need to cut out some more hearts here. These are so cute. Anyway, I will be back soon. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.